What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast. Why did I sing-song it like that? This is my podcast. What makes you famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. You know, I like to party with the people, weddings and corporate events and entertainment of all kinds. You know, I'm primarily the DJ. I'll be there in the corner playing the music that you want to hear, hopefully right next to the dance floor. That's my favorite place to be, is right next to the dance floor. If you could set up the DJ right there. And I know a lot of people put them off to the corner, put them off to the side, or put them far away. No. Put the DJ next to the dance floor. Your party will be much better. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, I got Brandon Olson coming on. Who's Brandon Olson? You're going to find out in the next few minutes. So stick around for that. Oh, yeah, do it. This week's shows, as I'm recording this, I have two public shows. Count them, 2 public shows. I'll be at the Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill in Morrilton, Arkansas, from 6 to 10 on Thursday. Now, the reason I kind of hesitated a minute, that's my newest public show, and it's been going so well. Every week, more and more and more people. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's the good food, the good drinks, the good people, the good staff. Oh my goodness. It has to be a combination of all of that. But the staff there is so on it. You know, between Jody and Nicole, they're out there just serving up the drinks and getting the good food out to you. I had a steak from there. It took me 2 days to eat this steak from the Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill, Morrilton, Arkansas. I'm just so happy that they have me there Thursday nights from 6 to 10. And by the way, yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. You provide the entertainment. I'm just pressing buttons over here. I'll play some background music, between singers. But for the most part, you're the entertainment. I just bring the songs. I bring the microphones. You are the ones that are singing and getting the people excited. Yeah, you. Yeah. If you sing in the shower, if you sing in the car, you could sing at karaoke. It's not that hard. And I'll make it sound as good as I possibly can. I got some magical microphones with little knobs on them. Yeah, make you sound good. All right, so Cedar Lounge, Thursday night from 6 to 10. And Friday nights, we do it at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. That's my regular Friday night gig. Now, I've been doing that one for years, and that one is always a good time, always exciting at the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. Full bar, kitchens open, pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday night. So if you want to make some money playing pool, or at least try to make some money playing pool, I encourage you to check out the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. on Friday nights. And then on Saturday, I have a wedding. So unless you're invited, you can't come. The reason that I even mention it is because I'm so excited that weddings are coming back. Oh yeah, weddings are my specialty. Now, I'll play whatever music you want at a wedding for sure. I mean, I always get together with the bride and groom and figure out what they want to play. And if they want to do karaoke, that's great too. If they want to do, music videos, I got that too. I always set up a TV screen. I'll put up either the logo or I'll play music videos on there, or it's a screen for karaoke. So either way, whatever you want. And I enjoy doing weddings. I've been doing those for quite a few years as well. And I think I'm starting to get pretty good at it. They keep calling me, so I must be getting pretty good at it. All right, party people, enough about me, enough intro. Let's get into it with Brandon Olson. of the Olson Brothers Band. Oh, I guess I gave you a hint of who Brandon Olson is. Now, I got him on Skype, so if you're listening to the audio version of this, I encourage you to check out the video version. You can find that on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDan, or just look up Keys Dan, and you'll find I have several YouTube pages, but the one with the Radio What logo is the one that I put my my podcasts on. So let's get into it with Brandon Olson. Skyping Brandon Olson now. You're looking very colorful, man.
Yeah. My spirit animal is the peacock for sure.
Oh, no kidding. All right. All right. Well, let's see if we can tilt the camera up a little bit for those people that are watching the video version of this. For those that are listening to the audio version only, I encourage you to check out my YouTube and find the beautiful, the handsome, should I say beautiful? Because you are a beautiful man. Brandon of the Olson Brothers Band. And I guess you're one of the brothers. It's Brandon Olson of the Olson Brothers Band. Well, give the people a little idea of who you are. I got you here. Yay.
All right. I mean, as far as the person I am, I I'm pretty bland. I'm just your typical working guy. I get up and go into work for 5 a.m. I'm a cheesemaker by trade. So I pay the bills.
What maker? What is it that you do during the day?
A cheese maker. I make mozzarella.
All right, you're hanging out in Vermont. The only thing I know about Vermont is, Bernie Sanders in Vermont. He really, if Vermont isn't for lovers, because that was always one of the things that I'd heard, that, going to Vermont is a great place for a honeymoon, a great place for a vacation, because there's beautiful places in Vermont. But then, if you didn't know it before, Bernie put it back on the map. But I mean, tell me what you're anything but normal, anything but typical, because a normal person doesn't know how to put music together, doesn't know how to rock the house. Normal people go to work 9 to 5 and sit in a cubicle for 8 hours and listen to a boss that holds a cup of coffee and says, "I'm going to need you to come in on Saturday." Okay.
That's absolutely true. I'm not very normal at all. Now that's what really makes music so fun for me to be a part of, honestly, because it's very hard for me as a person to express myself with my words. And with once I picked up drums at 6 years old. I had such a knack for it. By the time I was 9, my dad he fired his old drummer and had me playing bars with him.
9 years old, you're playing with dad, and now it's starting to come open. It's starting to come clear that you're not first generation musician. You're second, maybe third. Tell me the family history, and if you could tilt the camera up just a little bit higher so I could see your whole face. There, now I see the beautiful Brandon Olson. All right. I mean, and tell me a little bit about the family history and the music wise and otherwise.
Yeah. Both me and my brother grew up basically learning music from our father, and he was just an incredible guitar player. And he learned from his mother, who played acoustic guitar. She was a bit more on the folksy ends of things. And then one of her husbands, Lenny Olson, was also a guitar player. He played more like the country stuff and like the bluegrass sort of stuff. And he learned from both of them, and he was real inspired by like Hendrix and all that stuff. He loved all that hard rock and Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. And that's the stuff he had us growing up playing and listening to. But like 11 years old, he wanted me to learn Fire by Jimi Hendrix. And it was so frustrating because I'd just try it and couldn't get it down. It took me about a month to learn. But he was real good about pushing me for that sort of stuff.
Well, you say you were playing, you say you were playing drums. Were you playing guitar as well?
No, I played drums from the time I was 6 till about the time I was 14, 15. And then I picked up guitar when I got into like my last year of middle school, first year of high school. And that's when I really started to pick up guitar, because I had played drums at that point for almost 9 years, almost pretty steadily. And I was like, I'm gonna pick up another instrument. Why not? It's it. It almost kind of, not that it got boring, because drums are just, it's like being able to cast a spell on people. You put the rhythm into them, makes them want to move. But having that sort of melodic playground to play, and it's just, it's totally different. It's just a totally different end of the spectrum, and I just wanted to kind of explore it a little bit more.
Oh, you're definitely exploring different parts of musicianship. As if you provide the backbeat, bam, that's what's getting them going. That's what's getting their feet going. You got boom, 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 boom. They're moving. But then you got that melody with the guitar, and it's telling them a story without even any words. You said you're not much of a wordsmith, but if you have a guitar in your hands, you're telling a whole story. There are verses and words that are being, stories that are being told through the rhythms of your guitar. And I'm glad you have both under your belt. What do you consider your primary tool, your primary weapon when you're out there on the stage?
I would probably say guitar as of right now. Just it's a lot more accessible for me to practice, I guess. I have a drum set up and I do practice, but with the guitar I can literally keep it, right here on my bed. I can play it right now and just get my practice in, and
So are you playing acoustic or electric?
I usually play acoustic. I play electric a little bit less, but it's what I learned on acoustic. When I learned playing like all that country and, old school sort of 50s stuff. And then I got into the electric stuff after that. And that's, started having a whole lot of fun with that.
Well, Brandon, I've always been jealous of someone who could just pick up an acoustic guitar and go. And just go. You can busk. You can go to a bar. You can go to a restaurant. You can go and you can accompany yourself while you're singing. Is that something that you do? Can you sing as well?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Okay. And I know when I'm watching your videos and it says, all right, in your bio, and I don't do a lot of research when I do these because I want the conversation to be fresh. But when in your bio, it says you're a rock band. But you cannot put yourself in a box. You can't put the Olson brothers in a box that way, because I hear the tastes of the country that you grew up with, the old country, the new country, the rockabilly. Even though you're all the way in Vermont, which is one of the more northern states, you got a feel of a southern rockabilly band in there as well. I mean, what do you feel like your most primary tastes are? And man, it's just I got to know more about where this music came from. Are you writing it all yourself, or is Dylan helping you? Dylan, the brother that you were just talking about, who's writing the music?
Dylan does most of the writing, as far as like lyrical melody and just things of that nature. I write the guitar part and drum part, and for a song or two, I'll help him with the bass part. I'll help him, figure out a part on it or something like that. But he kind of he sets me up, and I can just kind of, he gives me advice on where to add things in, sort of, and how to make it with a complete picture. It's a nice sort of like orchestration. There's, it's a lot of moving parts and things like that.
Well, give me a timeline of where you are. You said that you gave up the drums. You picked up the guitar. You didn't give up the drums, but you picked up the guitar around 15. How long ago was that? How old are you now?
I'm 23 right now.
23.
So yeah, I've been playing for 8 years now.
Man, and have you always played with your brother? Has he been the go-to guy? And what does he play? What's his primary tool?
I would say his primary weapon, though, would definitely be the keyboard. He's very good at just, like, you know, coming up with nice little parts to sort of accent each other. You know, he composes and he makes an orchestra happen with just a keyboard. It's nice, you know.
Well, I noticed you're in a room, you have a space, and you said that you have you have drum set up, and you have a guitar sitting next to you that I can see. And for those, once again, listening to the audio, watch the video because you'll see a whole lot more.
We have a big old practice room upstairs, just devoted to, you know, music. That's where most of the gear stays, because I'm honestly in the basement right now.
Okay, it's not obvious to me.
That's, you know, it's a nice little room. I can dig it.
Yeah. Okay, but you have a practice room upstairs. Where are you doing most of your recording?
The recording happens at this place in Pownal, at Primrose Studios. It's Zach Primrose runs it. He's very good. He's really, you know, he works hard. He's one of those recording engineers who's really not afraid to just, you know, give you some ideas and be like, why don't you try this, or, you know, do something this way, and, you know, just ways that you wouldn't think of it, you know.
Oh, you're definitely leading into it, Brandon. It's not a solo effort to put music together. It's even if it's a solo person that's putting it together, usually to get it great, you need a collaboration. And with Primrose Studios, put that on the walking tour for those listening to the What Makes You Famous tour. I'm guessing it's somewhere in Vermont. You know, where is it at in Vermont?
It's near the southern end of it. So it's in Pownal, Vermont.
Very cool. I mean, there's always a collaboration, because you said that you could bring the drums, you could bring a guitar, but then your brother gives you a little idea. Well, why don't you bend the strings this way? Put a different chord this way, or slow it down, or, you know, it's a collaboration there. And then both of you bring it to the studio, and then you have even more people over there that are helping you to refine this music. I mean, I'm listening to the music on your YouTube and your SoundCloud, and it's well done. It's well made. You could tell that it's been refined. It's not somebody making a mixtape in their house with a computer and a cheap microphone. You're doing the work to get this music made right. How many songs do you have you recorded and put out to the world?
We've got 7 done right now, and working on an 8th that will finish pretty shortly. Now, within probably, I would say, like 2-3 weeks.
Amazing. And you learned drums from your dad, right? He said, I'm kicking my old drummer out, 9 years old. How did he figure out that you had the ability to bang on the drums? Were you like every other boy in school, banging on your desk with a pencil, or banging on everything?
When I was a kid, my dad was playing in bars just with his own band, you know, with a group of adults, you know, and they had their own drummer who would come over to our house, set up his drums, and play. And I would sit there next to his drum set, and I would, like, you know, draw on it with my crayons and stuff my crayons in the holes, and, you know, wreak all sorts of havoc. And when they would go on break, I'd sit behind it and bang on it. And so when I was 6, he got me my own drum set, and, you know, he started teaching me, and I loved doing it. And then I started going out and playing with him, and I loved that more. It was just, you know, it's a whole lot of fun.
Well, generally, drums are something that you give to somebody's kid that you don't like. You don't like the parents, so you give the kids a drum set. You know, he's going to make noise in your house. But your dad played that trick on himself and gave you drums, man. So was it a pretty decent drum set? Was it electronic, or was it, basic drum set? What kind of drum set did he get you first off at 9 years old?
Yeah, it was a Slingerland. It was a acoustic drum set. It was dark blue.
Is that something you used for a long time, or is that something you gave up after a while?
I used that until about I was maybe 12. Then after that, we went and got myself a Gretsch. I got an orange Gretsch, which is the one I still have and use.
Now, Gretsch is a music company that I have admired. I know that Gretsch makes guitars, and was it Brian Setzer plays that big boy, what do they call it, a fat boy Gretsch? I've always wanted one of those. I cannot play guitar for the life of me. I got an Ibanez 120. I got a Squire sitting there. I got an Esteban acoustic guitar, and my grandma just gave me a guitar that she bought in Spain back in like the late 50s or the early 60s, and I had it restrung and remade. You know how many chords I can play? Maybe one. You know, I'd love to learn how to play guitar, but all I do is I spend my time talking into microphones, learning from people like you, Brandon, of the Olson Brothers Band, you know, learning what makes you tick. How did you come up to where you are? You know, we're trying to figure out through the years how you came to be, and then getting together with your brother Dylan. You know, how did you mesh together? Was that something that your dad put together as well, or was that something you figured out that you could do on your own?
That was something my father really put together at first. He had us, you know, it was me, my father, my brother on piano or keyboard, and you know, a few bass players that would come and go, and we would go out and play just about anything, you know, like, you know, private parties, bars, weddings, you know, all sorts of stuff. He you know, my father really had a wide repertoire of stuff, and he put it all right into us. You know, the knowledge goes.
Well, that's beautiful.
Just wide spectrum of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're given words of wisdom, really. You could be a party band. You don't have to be a world touring band. You could be a party band that plays covers and does weddings and corporate events and makes a pretty decent living right in your own hometown. You don't have to go that far away. You'll be home every night. You know, but some people have aspirations of grandeur and want to go further. But the thing about being a world touring band is you give up you know, on your family a little bit. You know, you gotta leave some people behind, and you end up not being home. Where do you want to be? I mean, you say that you've done a little bit of local stuff. How far have you gone around? Have you been outside of Vermont, or is that the spot you've been living in so far as the Olson Brothers Band?
Me personally, I've traveled a little bit, but I've never really like gone touring or anything like that. I've gone to like Long Island, New York, and stuff like that for parties and stuff like that. You know, a couple long 4-hour rides and stuff like that. But nothing like for days and weeks on end as far as touring. I would like to do that someday, but with the current situation, it's made a little difficult. But that's why we're sort of just laying back and recording right now. We're getting our songs done, and we're getting a good feel for what we want to do, and, you know, getting good and tight with each other. And then, you know, when the time comes, we'll go and record, and we'll blow everyone's minds.
All right. Well, let's go back to the beginning of the Olson Brothers Band. How long ago did you get together with your brother? And then what were the very first gigs that you were getting together? And how long did it take for you to feel like you were good enough to start playing for other people? I know I'm shooting a lot of questions at you, but you know, what are the beginnings of the Olson Brothers Band?
Well, honestly, we started it with a different name. We were ViceVersa, and I was still playing drums. It was me on drums and my brother on piano, and a friend of ours, Seth Bartholi, on guitar. And we played with him for a while and did some gigs, you know, just small gigs around town, like the Fish Fry and, you know, just bars and cafes and, you know, festivals, whatnot, Mayfest, stuff like that.
And were you playing covers mostly? What kind of music were you playing?
That was basically all covers.
Like what?
Just like 90s rock and Led Zeppelin, some Hendrix stuff. So some of the stuff we grew up playing with our dad, and some of the stuff that this friend of ours had suggested to us, some good stuff.
Well, I mean, how long did you play with your dad, your brother and yourself and your dad? Did you go off? Well, you said you had some bass players that came and went, so you went out as a quartet. What years were you playing as a quartet with your dad?
We were playing on and off, and until very recently, really. We gigged from basically I was a kid, on and off until about like last year.
So
we stopped gigging.
Is that your dad's main source of income, or does he have a Joe job as well?
Well, honestly, he about 6 months ago he passed away, which is unfortunate.
Son of a gun! I'm so sorry to hear that.
That's okay. He was honestly inspiration, and it's just all of his essence is just now in the air.
No, for sure. For sure. And I mean, do you have his musical equipment still, and all of his teachings and all of his knowledge? But the guitars and stuff that he played, do you still get a chance to play all that stuff as well?
Oh yeah. I've still got all that stuff. That's all. It's being kept nice and safe in cases. I take it out and play it just about every day, but make sure I take good care of it.
Well, I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. He has his grandfather's guitar, and that's his main what do they call it, axe that he plays. And yeah. I wonder if you play your dad's guitar and still think about him while you're playing it.
Yeah, some instruments, man, they have mojo. It's just it's not even you playing it. It's you can pick it up and not even know how to play a guitar, and you can just rip something off real quick.
Well, I'm glad you had the time with your dad for him to instill the knowledge that he had into you and your brother, and really light the fire that becomes, it changes from ViceVersa to the Olson Brothers Band. Where does that change come in, and why the change?
We decided, my brother and I, to kind of do me and him as far as the recording goes. Just we had some disagreements with our guitar player. It wasn't anything really serious, but at that point I had already played guitar for 5 years or something like that. It was about 3 years ago, and I played guitar for about 5 years, and I was pretty good at it at that point. And, my brother's got bass and keyboard, and he was very busy. He was in a couple other bands. So we were like, we're just going to do our own thing and record our music for a bit. And that's what we've been doing, basically.
Well, I guess that probably would make it easier to have your brother. That's, nothing's more important than family. Nothing's stronger than family. Those are the people that are going to be with you probably for the rest of your life. They'll back you up more than anybody else. You had your dad with you, but now you have your brother with you. And, for recording in a studio, yes, you can change different instruments and you can make tracks, but I guess it makes it a little bit harder if you're going out touring, unless his keyboard has maybe a drum machine on it where he could do the backbeat and the keyboards while you're supplying the vocals and the guitar. Or do you switch off on vocals?
Well, honestly, we still hang around with that guitar player. It's not like it wasn't anything like friendship or anything like that. We just decided we were going to record the music on our own. So he still he still comes and hangs out and plays every now and again. So if we go on tour, we'd probably or that we know a lot of musicians around town that I'm sure would join our cause.
See, that's a nice thing about musicians in any town, any area. The musicians all seem to get along together because they know that they're all struggling together. Those words that you hear often, starving artist. You're all in the same boat, trying to make it. Trying to get your creative juices flowing. And I know that, man, on Sunday nights locally here, there's a TC's, and all the bands seem to get together and jam. And so you'll have a guitarist from one band and a drummer from another and a bassist and a vocalist. Is that something that you guys do in that area with your local artists?
But, we did the same thing with that guitar player. He was also a drummer. So I'd switch off and play guitar. He'd play drums. I'd play drums. He'd play guitar,
Now that is something cool for the audience to see. If you guys keep switching instruments on everybody, that would just flip me out if I was watching a band. If I was watching the Olson brothers up there playing, and you start off on guitar, and then bloop, you hand him a guitar, or he comes up with one, and you get behind and start beating on the skins, and oh man, that would just flip me out. What does the audience think about that?
People always seem to like it. It's it's a nice little trickety trick to be able to pull out of our sleeves, because we would practice the song so much that at that point we'd know them literally back and forth, both instruments. It didn't even matter.
Man, that is fantastic. I mean, all right. So in other viewpoints, I mean, what other avenues do you like to explore? What besides music? What are you into? What did you do back in school, which wasn't too long ago? What were the extracurricular activities, or was it always music?
Honestly, I'm a bit of a video gamer. I like the puzzle games and the action games a little bit, but a lot of what I do is just playing music at my house. And I used to do a little bit of art, but I haven't done any in a long time. That's one of our songs, Strange. That piece of artwork is mine, but the rest of it is my brother's girl. It's all her artwork. It's our covers for our single. And I keep the fire going over here. Keep it warm, such.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, as we're recording this in what is it, October? The end of October, is it getting kind of cool in Vermont? How is it growing up in Vermont?
Oh man, as I was a very quiet and anxious child in public, but as soon as I got home, I turned into that eccentric sort of freak. I feel like it comes with the personality. When you meet a drummer, they've always sort of got that little bit of eccentric, crazy, dancing around stupidity to them.
Yeah, the one that comes to mind is Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac. If you see him back there, you watch him in videos, he's got his tongue out while he's doing his thing. And Tito Puente Jr. Got those just a tongue out. When you're beating on the skins, when you're drumming, do you find that you're making faces and thinking, just getting crazy like Animal in the Muppet Show? Animal.
Yeah. I was pretty timid when I was young. I was, when I was 9 years old, and I was, just going out and doing it. I was looking at all the people watching me and being like, oh my God, being afraid that I'm going to mess up. But as soon as I got comfortable in that sort of situation, I turned into a little bit of an animal. I'd I'd bop all around. But
yeah, I'm kind of imagining you at 9 years old. I mean, a drums is probably the place to be if you're kind of shy and timid, because a drummer is usually stuck in the back, behind all your armor. You have all these shields in front of you that you're able, to shield yourself from this audience. Is that how you felt? How you had a wall that was, would protect you?
As a drummer, it doesn't feel as nice and safe as you think, because when you're playing a melody, you can stop at any point, and most people, especially if they're drinking, won't notice the difference. But if you're a drummer and you mess something up, it is just clear as day, and to be 9, 10 years old, trying to keep up. It totally exposed me, because if I messed up something and had to stop, it was just the drums were just gone.
Oof.
But there's a lot of music that guitar and things will just stop. But I would just fumble sometimes, and that would make me feel practically naked. But having that experience happen to me and that embarrassment definitely made me go home and practice for hours on end so that it didn't happen again.
Yeah, man. But you are so far ahead of the game, Brandon. You are so far ahead. Starting at such a young age, you already have, 15 years of experience by now, or close, 14 years of experience?
Or no, I'm sorry. That's wrong. It's, I think it's 17. 17 years of experience on drums. Wow.
17 years at 23 years old. How amazing is that, man? That's got, I mean, you hear, just listening to me say it out loud, it's impressive. It's impressive, man. I remember, I guess, the Mickey Mouse Club, they had Cubby playing, and he was probably 10 or 12 years old playing drums on TV. But here you are doing gigs and at weddings and parties, and these are very important events to these people, especially a wedding. That's an important event. They don't want anything to go wrong. And what?
It's a hell of a training ground.
But that is amazing, man. And okay, so the Olson brothers come together at what is it? How long have you been performing as the Olson brothers?
About 3 years now.
3 years. You made the switch from ViceVersa. You said, "Hey, it's just me and my brother. We're going to be recording on our own." Do you record demos in your house and then go off to the studio? Do you have the ability to record yourself?
We sort of have a setup. It's not really quite professional, but which is why we go to this gentleman out in Pownal, and but we usually, what we'll do is I'll sit down on the drums, or we'll sit down on the keyboard or the bass, and we'll just sort of jam something out and see where it goes. And it usually lasts about like 10 minutes, and we get a little experimental with it. But that's sort of where we pick our pieces out of. We'll sit and jam and just kind of bounce off each other, because after playing with someone for some time, like sort of a telepathy with them, you can just look at them and sort of see exactly what they're going to do before they're going to do, and it allows you to do some really interesting things in music. It just to just make a lot of cool changes, interesting rhythms and stuff like that.
All right. So how does a musician make a living nowadays? Are you independent? Are you signed with a label? Are you trying to do it on your own, or do you have aspirations of signing with somebody? Where do the Olson brothers want to go with this?
I mean, right now we're just looking to record some music and see what opportunities there are to get out and, well, maybe not, to tour right now, but we're kind of waiting for this whole to go over. We're going to keep recording music. We've still got, I think, I don't know, like a good 7 to 10 songs to record.
That is excellent, man. I haven't written one song, Brandon. I'm jealous of you. I don't know. I have thoughts. I have feelings. I have experiences, but I don't have the ability to put them down to paper and then put notes, musical notes, to match up with those words and express those feelings. Man, it amazes me to even write one song, let alone 7, and then you have another 7 waiting in the wings to be recorded. It's amazing. And then plus, on top of that, I'm looking at your YouTube page, you have music videos that go along with some of those songs. Who's doing the videos? How are you getting those produced?
That's the same guy who's doing our recordings, honestly. He just throws the videos together for us, nice and cheap, and we throw them on YouTube. It's honestly, it's fairly simple from from what I understand. It's just putting together a nice little video and throwing some lyrics to it on YouTube. But it's, you know.
Oh, I mean, you know, with YouTube, I could see the response that you're getting. You have lots and lots of views. I mean, are you able to make any kind of a living on this? You know, 3 years ago, all right, you start doing the gigs, and what are you playing? What are the Olson brothers playing? Bars or weddings, or what kind of events are you doing?
Stick mostly to, like, you know, cafe stuff. Like, recently I'll go to an open mic night if they were around, but we kind of got halted this last year, but it was mostly just, you know, like bars, like small festivals and stuff like that. Like the local Mayfest and Pownal Fair every now and again.
That's cool, man. That is so cool to play in front of hundreds, you know, maybe even thousands of people. It's just amazing. And they're all thinking, you're making them sway, man. You're making them feel good, making them feel a certain kind of way because the Olson brothers are up there playing. Yeah, and it's you. It's you causing that vibe, man. I appreciate that. You know, and you have to appreciate that. But, you know, okay, yes, you've been alluding to it as we're recording this. We're in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic. It's kind of put everything to a halt. Not everything, really, because as a creative, you've had to explore different ways to create. And now that you can't play, for the most part, out in the world, you're able to write the music, put all your effort into writing music and putting stuff to recording the music. You know, is that what you've been doing primarily?
That's sort of where we're at right now. You know, we've done the bar thing and the playing out live thing for 10 years, and we've never really been able to do the studio recording, like the writing and sort of experimental type of writing music. So now we're kind of delving into that a little bit, and we're getting a good base of songs recorded and stuff like that, so that when we do hit the road, we've got a nice list of our own stuff to mix in with the covers we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like you have a love for music, but I don't want you to get hurt in this music business, because I know that happens. Who's guiding you? Who's protecting you in the music business? Do you have an agent? Do you have somebody that's kind of guiding you through, or are you doing it all on your own?
My brother has this gentleman who works for us. I honestly, I don't know his name, but he's been guiding us. I've during the summertime, they make me work full time where I work. I wind up working, 12 and 14-hour days. So he usually handles the agent stuff.
Hey, you're making that cheese while you're making the cheese, man. Everybody's got to, it's good to have a steady day job. I have a steady day job. That's my insurance job. It affords me the ability to pursue the passions that I like. I do the DJ stuff on the weekends. I get to talk into microphones to people just like you, Brandon, of the Olson Brothers Band, and learn from you. And then you were talking about video games earlier. I'm also online streaming games. Yay! I started playing Fortnite a couple of months ago, and I was like, yeah, I can do this. What are your video games of choice?
I played a little bit of Fortnite. I like the Legend of Zelda series, and like Dark Souls and all those action RPG games and stuff like that. I'm a bit of a nerd, but
No, I'm looking to break out of Fortnite, especially now. They're doing like a Fortnightmare, which is once you die, you come back as a specter, and then you try to kill off all the survivors. So it's really I'd rather just play straightforward, but I know Fortnite is pretty saturated. I'd like to find a different game. Zelda sounds pretty cool, and I have a few other games that are loaded up here that I've gotten from Steam and other places. But I'd like to play something different, while I'm streaming, to make it. It'll be more interesting for me if I'm not just playing Fortnite over and over. You say, what is Zelda all about? Tell me what do you like about that?
It's just a puzzle game, but honestly, as stupid as it is, my favorite thing about it, it's got fantastic music in it. That's all the old games have, a fantastic soundtrack, and that's, a really big inspiration as far as like my writing and my sense of melody goes. Like, because I'll sit here and friggin' have the game on, try to learn the song, not even playing the game sometimes, just playing the music to it.
Yeah, I mean, you never know where the inspiration's going to come from. So I'd say go ahead, play those games, man. That's great.
Music loaded in there.
So what inspired you? What was the first song that you wrote, and who or what inspired? I automatically went to who or what inspired you to write that first song?
I mean, honestly, I myself, I've never really like written and finished. Well, I've put together a couple melodies and stuff like that and parts, but I've never really finished and completed a song. I've only written stuff for my brother's songs that he's written. Like, I've only written parts. I have yet to actually to completely orchestrate my own piece, but I'm getting there slowly. It's a slow process for me because it's just how I express myself. So I've got to be thorough and precise. It's one of those things that, I really want to be, sort of, I know I've been throwing around this word the whole time, orchestrated. It's just, I want to have a nice, large, sort of structure to build. Like, music to me, it's like, I don't know, it's like a thought without a definition. Like, you can hear a melody and it'll make you think something without telling you what it is. Like, you can hear a song and it'll make you think of a desert, make you think of an ocean or something like that. And it doesn't have to say, this is about, it just makes you think. And I kind of want to have a big sort of, experiment like that.
Well, we talked about that in the beginning of this podcast, where you picked up a guitar and you started telling a story without even saying any words. That's what your magic is. Before before Brandon Olson makes his opus, the big song that's gonna, inspire you and others around you and the world, before that opus comes up, man, you're perfecting your craft, and you're helping your brother to perfect his songs as well. So you're collaborating, you're working well with others, and you're building something together. That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic to have somebody that close. Your brother, you've known him your whole life, and you're working together. Just that's got to feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's so nice to have someone, because he's very good to bounce ideas off of. He's good about being like, giving me a good idea, like, think desert or something stupid, like a stupid hint, and make something so much more clear as far as what to play, or which way to swing the drums, or what sort of energy to put in it. Like, it's not afraid to be like, listen, I know it's really pretty, but what you're playing is sad. It's bumming me out. It's,
well,
the wide variety of sounds within music, of different vibes. Because sometimes you want something to be a little happy, sometimes you want it to be a little sad. It's just about figuring out which is which.
Yeah, and you're building a set list. You're building something that's going to make the audience feel a certain kind of way. That you'll pick them up, you'll build them back down, you'll make them feel, you make them cry, you'll make them laugh, and you build that set list. This is something that you have the ability of doing as a musician. I mean, going back to the business side, are you putting stuff on BMI or ASCAP, or are you involved in any of that? Is anybody helping you to monetize your music? I don't want you to get screwed out there. You put your music out there and somebody will say, oh yeah, I can take that and steal it for myself. Now, how do you protect yourself?
Yeah, we've we've got all that sort of stuff basically under wraps. Like, uh, I'm not really all too worried about it.
All right, all right, all right. I mean, I figure once you put it on YouTube, people know, oh, that's yours, or is it automatic? You know, if you put it on Spotify or Apple.
I was I only got the are you worried part of the question. Yeah, we do have stuff. We've got stuff up on Bandcamp and on Spotify. We've got our first 7 songs up. Jeez, but yeah, they're all on Spotify to be listened to and bought and whatnot, and all our art's up on there and whatnot. But yeah, we've got it all monetized and stuff like that. We're making a little bit of money right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I wonder how people make a living doing this these days as an independent. You know, I know that you can do it as an independent. It used to be, you know, if you went off with a record company, they would give you, you know, $5,000. Here you go. Here's a $5,000 advance, but then you have to pay that all back in one way or another. They're going to get their money back for sure. You know, whether it's from record sales or if you didn't sell any records, you better go wash some dishes because you need to pay that $5,000 back somehow. I wonder where have you been on that?
That's basically me. I'm the dishwasher.
Well, I mean, you know, you have your place in the band, man. You supply the rhythm, you supply the drums, and you supply the guitar, and you have, you know, your spirit is part of the band for sure. Dylan, I noticed on his Facebook, it says something like, what is it, Big Boss or something like that, where he kind of supplies maybe the, I don't know, what would he consider himself? He says Big Boss at the Olson Brothers Band. Is he more of the business side and you're more of the spiritual side?
He's on both of that. He's the driving force behind us, really, because he's got basically all the ideas, you know, as far as songwriting goes and like lyrics and stuff like that. He's got all of the like the things to say. I guess he's got a lot to say to the world, and he's got you know, he's got a fire, so to speak.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you have inspiration in your own mind, in your own world as well.
I'm really I'm more inspired by just being able to just sort of express myself and make something, you know, sort of beautiful for people to listen to. That's where I'm at. I'm not really trying to do anything too crazy. I'm just kind of here grooving along like I do. But my brother is the one with the big ambition, and I do have my ambitions. I've got to with, you know, focus. I can't be too rambunctious about it. I sit here pretty religiously and just play. If I hear something I like, I'll just sit and play it. I put a lot of the work in just playing music all the time. Like it's how I exist. It's you know, I do it better than talking, honestly.
Well, Brandon, it sounds like you have a lot of soul and a lot of, man, I've heard of a lot of singers and some of the most famous ones were ones that weren't worried about the business side. They had somebody to take care of that. You have a Dylan to take care of that. But you know, if you think of Kurt Cobain and Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison, those guys, they didn't seem like they were too worried about the business part. They were worried about creating the music and making a vibe. And I'm kind of getting that feeling from you, man. That kind of, man, I'm just here to make some music and inspire some people. And I think that's what you're going to be doing, probably, hopefully for the rest of your life. Is that what you want to do as we branch out, as we get out of coronavirus? This will be done soon enough, man. You know, half a year, you know, we'll be breaking out. What is it you want to do in the next few years with the Olson band, Brandon Olson?
I mean, I just, hmm, as far as, you know, the band goes, I would love to just finish our set list and get it together, get a nice tight sound, and and, and just sort of go and blow people's minds. You know, that's I want us to be freaks of nature. That I want people. Not, you know, you can go into a bar and you can hear musicians playing. That's music going on in there, but sometimes you hear people playing and you're completely, you know, mesmerized and drawn to it just because they're so naturally adept to it. They're freaks, and that's exactly how I want. It's always what my father used to say to me. He's like, you should look like a freak of nature. Like, you know, you should. It makes people want to look at you. It makes them want to listen to you.
Well,
So, honestly, it's
yeah.
like it's own form of dance almost. And just sort of bopping around with your music and stuff like that. It, you know, it really it's good. It's good for you. Honestly, it's good for the brain. And that's, you know, that's really what I want to do. I just want to really impress people and get people in that sort of freaky, spiritual, doing things vibe, sort of, you know, having a good time and not worrying about all the nonsense that's going on, and just sort of separating from all the crazy pressure and the politics, just having a good time, getting a little freaky.
Well, I was going to ask you who you vote for president. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But you know, that's what people want when they go to a show. And I suspect if they go to an Olson Brothers band show, they want to forget their problems. They've been working hard all week. They want to go there and have, you know, have an experience. And I'm from what I'm hearing and from what I see in the videos, I look in the video, man, you are a totally different person in the video. You are transformed. You know, right now, you know, you're having a conversation with a stranger, just talking about the band, kind of, you know, trying to figure out what to say and say the right things. There is no right thing. There's no wrong thing. But once you're out there playing the music, if I watch their videos, you are transformed when you're playing guitar, when you're playing your music out there. It's a totally different feeling, and I know that guitar, that really does the talking for you. You know, I might be wrong.
It's just more natural for me anyway. It's just, you know, and that's part of the reason I picked it up, because it's a lot easier to do that quietly. You can't really express yourself with the drums quietly. It's more for like for rage and excitement and stuff like that. It's hard to be timid and you know, peaceful with drums.
Well, you seem like a really cool person, man, and I'm glad that I got to know you and that I'm getting to know you, and I'm glad that my listeners are getting to know Brandon of the Olson Brothers Band, and perhaps one day we'll talk to Dylan as well, and maybe the two of you together, and we'll get an idea, you know, more about what's going on with you and your band. So, you know, once you get these I guess 14, 15 songs recorded, you'll be putting them out to the world, and play. That's like an hour of music, 15 songs an hour, you know, plus the storytelling. You might stretch it out to an hour and a half or so, but I mean, that's a pretty good set right there, man. And people, I expect, are going to. Are you putting out records, or are you putting out actual vinyl or CDs, or you know, where can people find you and get some of your music online?
You can buy all of our music online on Spotify right now, but we don't have any CDs made yet. We're in the process of making them, and we've got some you know, general merchandise, shirts and things of the like that are getting made, but nothing quite yet. You can only buy the music online. But it's worth it. It's definitely worth a good listen. You know.
Well, that's the vibe. After watching an Olson Brothers band show, you know, the thing that you get as a starting off, or as a new band, you know, you get to to meet up with all your fans and at the merch table. That's what you do. You know, hey, meet us at the merch table. We'll sign a hat for you, or sign a T-shirt for you, or get you a button or something. That's where you connect with your fans and you build long-lasting relationships. You know, my favorite band is Queen, you know, and one day somebody, and I'm sure a lot of people are already saying, hey, my favorite band is the Olson brothers, and they'll stick with you for their whole lives. And you'll see the same people at every show. You'll have groupies, man. But you start those relationships off, you know, not just with the music, but also meeting them at the merch table, and, you know, maybe not shaking hands, but maybe a fist bump now. Maybe you get a fist bump. Oh, this COVID, it's got to be done, man. It's got to be done soon, right? Scientists are working on it. I know they are. I mean, what's the vibe in Vermont, COVID wise?
It hasn't been so bad here. We've there's a couple locations, I guess, up north of where we're at. I'm in Bennington, Vermont right now, and it's literally at the southeastern tip of Vermont. And, I'm sorry, southwestern tip. My bad. Yeah.
I don't know geography.
Yeah, up north, I guess they've had like 75 cases, but Vermont's been keeping it pretty low as far as that goes. Honestly, my workplace has kept it really good. I get my temperature taken every day. We've got hand sanitizers next to every door. To the point where some people turn white. So, you know, we keep it pretty clean.
Yeah, I wonder about that. I figure a cheese factory's got to be pretty clean, but you know, if you're in any kind of a factory, you're probably working elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder with people from time to time. Is that? I know the meat plants have been having some problems, but you know, how is it at a cheese factory?
It's honestly not so bad. I'm one of those guys that just can do the whole job by myself for some reason. So I come in at 5 a.m. and I get my job done basically by myself with nobody really around me. And I make all my cheese. I put it in the cooler for some other people to take out after I leave them, and they come and take it. It's honestly, it's a nice, we keep it nice and separated. You know, got to keep them separate.
I get it. You're the offspring. I get it. But no, you know, but do you get to sit back there and wear your headphones while you're working and listen to some jams?
We got a Bluetooth speaker that we listen to in there, but the people who play the music usually just play the same songs every day, which gets a little old after, you know, 3 years.
Well, tell them to throw an Olson Brothers band song in there. Put it on rotation, man. You know, they'll hear something good, something different. You know, yeah. All right, man. Well, as we round this thing out, I guess you got your social media is what you want people to connect on. I know you have a Bandcamp website. Is that the primary website?
Yeah, that's basically where we're at right now. Spotify and Bandcamp.
Yeah, the Olson Brothers Band.bandcamp.com. That's where I see all the music is at, from Strange, Running for the Sun, Candle in the Storm. Are those all singles, I'm guessing?
Yep. Yeah, it's all singles.
Very cool, man. And you know, between you and Dylan, you're the collaboration that put all those 7 songs out there.
Yep. Yep. We got more to come. It'll be something good. Something, you know, it'll be an interesting experience for sure.
Well, exciting, man. I encourage people to follow you on your YouTube page as well. You got quite a few subscribers, and you have your Twitter feed. Are you in charge of the Twitter, or somebody else running your Twitter for you?
Me and my brother split that. That's kind of, we half and half it.
Very cool, man. And I mean, it's just been a pleasure talking to you. I could see you're a very spiritual man. You're just nice to talk to. My blood pressure has gone down you know, just listening to you talk and just really feeling the vibe that you're wanting to instill in people with your music, man. And I want that feeling to be transposed and people to understand that, man, that's pretty cool. Brandon, you're a cool cat, man. And I'm glad to know you. Any other avenues you want to explore? Any shout outs you want to give as we round this thing out?
I mean, Primrose Studios for recording us. I mean, my brother upstairs is, you know, keeping it real, making all the, you know, the tough decisions. I mean, as far as other avenues, I mean, I'm just going to be sitting here playing my music and getting a little freaky with it, and I hope everyone does the same. We should all engage in a little music every day. Even if you don't play an instrument, you just have to put something on and dance to it, be engaged in it. Everyone should just do it engaged in music. It's good for you.
All right, Brandon Olson, Olson Brothers Band. I usually finish these things out with last words for the people. This could be like words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, or it's like a mantra that you live by, or it could just be whatever pops into your head at this moment in time, in this crazy, crazy time. Brandon Olson, the Olson Brothers Band, last words for the people.
Stay freaky.
Well, there you have it, party people. Brandon Olson, the Olson Brothers Band. Man, that's a good dude. Man, you can see that he's so excited about his music. He just loves that, to get that vibe out to the audience and make them feel. I was feeling good. He wasn't even playing music. He was just chit-chatting with me, giving me a good talking to, and let me know a little bit about how he started and his brother started and his dad. And man, it's the whole family really got involved with helping him get his music off the ground. And I appreciate that so much, Brandon Olson, for talking to me here on the What Makes You Famous podcast. I appreciate it so much. You know, you got me feeling good too, man. I'm all excited about not just the music that you already have out there, but the future of the Olson Brothers Band. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I know that you can go far between you and Dylan. You're going to go far. I appreciate that. All right. Well, if you would like to tell your story, yes, this time I'm talking to you, my loyal listener. If you would like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.